Shalom, Sister Kate here. I am traveling with family to see family, and it is the first time I have traveled any distance farther than like 3 hours from Shofar Mountain since COVID started. So it's a different experience, and I wanted to kind of give some warnings for y'all and also kind of update y'all. Um, so inflation is real. Um, we have been talking to the hotels that we stay in and like the car rental and all that. And here's the deal with the car rental. I know the cost of what I'm doing because I've done this before, and this year is the most expensive year. And so I asked someone at the car rental place, like, what's going on? And that person told me the car rental agencies, when COVID was raging and everybody was shut down, sold most of their fleet. I know, stop fidgeting, stop fidgeting. I've been drinking caffeine, so I'm a little, I won't say wired, but like I've pent up energy. Um, they sold most of their fleet. A lot of them have a used car website, and you can buy a used, rental car and la 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 la. And so they did, because financially, having a huge fleet of cars that no one is renting is just a financial drain. So then we come to this year when, a lot of people are vaccinated or have already had COVID and now have their immunity and whatnot, and people are starting to venture out as more states open up and so on. And so there's now demand for the cars and not as much supply. Um, and so it's harder for the people who own the franchises to actually get a hold of the vehicles, because it's all about who's renting them and where they're taking them. And so the prices, like I said, I think have gone up. And it's kind of understandable. Also, when you rent vehicles, you should ask for discounts. They have like a AAA discount and sometimes other corporate discounts, military discounts. And there's probably others that I don't know about that I haven't tried, like students discounts or whatever. Because it is within the jurisdiction of the person, the clerk renting to you, whether they give you a better price. So that's one thing. And then the other thing is the hotel situation. Like I did a video on a hotel where Pastor and I were staying. I think it was two summers ago, or like two falls ago or something. And I was kind of like, what is going on there? At every hotel we stayed at, there was like some person sitting outside, either in a car or on a bench, just kind of sitting there. And that's kind of weird to me. I don't remember that happening at hotels before. And, I made a video about it. Well, this year, it's way worse than that. Just your average middle class hotel is the prices are up and the quality is down. And I will give an example, two examples actually. We stayed at a Days Inn, and it was understaffed, and the room itself was clean, but it had issues. Like the coffee maker didn't have the little basket that you put the coffee envelope in to heat your water up. And these are things we didn't notice till the next morning. So we should have said something to them the night before. Also, the shower curtain rod had been retrofitted and had two blocks of wood on either side of it, and one of those was coming loose. Like you could visibly see when you were taking a shower, wow, this thing's probably going to pop out of here, right out of the wallboard shortly. There were scratches in the wall paint, which, it's a minor detail, but when you pay money for something, you expect it to be in, I won't say tip-top condition, but, complete condition. The walls shouldn't have chips in them, and these ones did. And it was also kind of a small room for what they were asking. But when I signed in, the clerk was very quick to let me know all the rooms in town are pretty much booked up, and you're lucky you got this one. And, that's why the rate is what it is, and so on. And I could have argued with her in the morning, but that's not really the point of this trip. It's not for me to just argue every hotel room. and we're kind of rushed to get out in the morning. So, excuse me, I didn't take the time to like discuss these things with her. But if you're in a hotel where they have a guaranteed 100% satisfaction rate, you should at least discuss it, because I've done that in the past where the hotel 100% guaranteed everything and they didn't have a pool working, and I said, look, one reason I'm here at this pool is because we wanted to swim and your pool's not working. So, and they, discounted the bill. So it's worth it. Get value for your money. The other hotel was abysmal. It was awful. It was in Alabama, and it was a Motel 6. And it was just awful. The clerk stood behind bulletproof glass. That should have been an indicator to me. There were 3 or 4 broken down cars in the parking lot. And when I say broken down, I'm talking about like a car with no window on the side and then a towel or a blanket over top that has obviously got soaked and water has poured down into these cars. Cars with one of the cars had a big dent in the side and obviously wouldn't run. And these are sitting in the hotel parking lot. That's unacceptable. And then we didn't even go into the room. On the way in, we smelled smoke, coming out of the rooms. And there were, the pool had like pool pump equipment all along in the hallway where you had to walk. And it was just awful. So we just didn't even stay. And that's a whole nother matter. But you need to be, this year, very much caveat emptor. You need the buyer beware. You need to check things out before you give them your credit card. You need to check things out and make sure you're 100% okay with whatever, conditions you're being presented with. Another thing that's really horrible is how many hotels, they're on a list of like a discount company, and so when you type in the name of your hotel, this discount number comes up first, and if you book through them, they charge your credit card for getting you a discounted room price, and that's kind of like a scam. So if you're, let's say you're trying to get a Red Roof Inn, call the actual Red Roof Inn where you're going and talk to that hotel. Don't go through these discount online things unless you trust it, if it's something like Priceline or I don't know, because it's a scam. They're going to charge you for finding that room for you. Yeah. So you have to be aware of that and call the actual hotel. Don't go through like a 1-800 number. It might be a Priceline kind of thing. It might be their corporate, but I've had a really hard time just talking to a person. And so it's been kind of frustrating for me. Maybe you're more computer literate, and so it's easier for you to do all that stuff online with, give them your credit card or your debit or whatever. But I didn't. I like to talk to the clerk themselves, find out if they have rooms available, and the when I left the one hotel that was a mess and went to another hotel, they discounted my room, because she could tell I was all stressed out, and they discounted my room tonight for the same reason. Like, they asked me, how you doing today? And I'm like, I'm just, worn out. And they're like, oh, okay. And then so on. So those are my tips for the traveling thing. Inflation is real. And the car guy said that, they can't get parts. So that's why they're not able to get a hold of more vehicles, not until this fall upcoming, probably. He said if you have a used vehicle right now, you should try to sell it, because the market is good for that. But come fall, if they do, if companies like Ford and Toyota and whatever start selling new cars again, then that's going to change. It's going to change the used car rates and also the availability of rental cars. All right, y'all, I've talked long enough. I will see you all later. Shalom.